Hello Collective, it's Belana, Aspire to the Self, another timeless collective tarot reading. Thank you for clicking onto my video. Please keep in mind that this is a general collective tarot reading, therefore the messages will not and may not resonate with everyone. So please take what resonates with you in your particular situation and leave the rest. Please don't try to make the story fit if it doesn't fit. Okay, if it's not resonating with you, it just means that I'm not picking up on your energy, which is perfectly okay. If you are a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back, Soul Family. It's good to see you guys again. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscribe, super thanks, and donations. I truly appreciate them all. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's good to see a new face here. Please keep in mind the areas of legal, law, finance, health, mental health. Please know that I'm not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be. And if I mention them at all, it is either what my intuition is picking up on, or it's literally on the cards themselves. However, if it truly resonates for you, I highly encourage you to speak to those experts in those areas of expertise. Something also to mention is that I am not a tarot reader. Okay, I'm a seer. Therefore, the cards are just how I connect with you guys. The cards are a physical and visual representation of the intuitive downloads that I receive, so please use your own level of discernment. I am also the author, Leavin.Ur, of both fairy tales in my hand here, The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is a fairy tale for children about their intuition, what it is, how it speaks to them, and how if they listen to it, it can help them to overcome all obstacles, help them to heal from all traumas, as well as get them to their happy ending in whichever way that looks for them. It is a very self-love and self-worth based fairy tale. As well as The Dark High Priestess and The Process of the Queen of the Unseen. This is a fairy tale written for adults about healing and overcoming spiritual warfare and narcissistic abuse from family members and friends, and how to keep that inner flame lit despite any adversity you're going through or experiencing. That no matter how dire your situation may seem, that you always have a choice and that you're never alone. There's always benevolent beings that are around you just waiting for you to give them consent, to intervene, and to intercede on your behalf and provide you with guidance so that way you can fulfill your soul's purpose in this lifetime. Both these fairy tales are written in the bard format, okay, which means that they are written in the way of Dr. Seuss, but the content is more Grimm's fairy tales. They are written and illustrated in such a way to heal and appeal to your inner child as you read them. They're short, they're sweet, they inspire hope, and they make you feel good as you read them. The audiobooks have released for both books will be attached to this video for your convenience. However, if you wish to purchase physical copies, you can find them on online reading sites such as Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, just to name a few. The Princess and Her Inner Voice is in its second edition print, which means that the autographed first edition, as well as my products, can be found on my website, which is www.aspiraltotheself.com. All the information in the description box below for your convenience, as well as all my social media platforms and pages, so that way you do not get scammed by people or pages pretending to be me. As always, I begin each reading with a prayer. I call upon God, Banja, Great Goddess Morgan, the 23, Luke, the Archangels, my ancestors, and the seen unseen. Please only allow in this reading what I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If any lower vibrational entities, beings, and energies try to come through or try to ask, project, open a portal, remote view, or be a monitoring spirit in the past, the present, or the future, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, which will give you full consent to intervene and to intercede on my behalf in whichever way you deem fit. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know and provide clear and concise messages. If any tried to abuse technology in any kind of way in the past, present, or in the future, by trying to take a screenshot, ask, project, open a portal, remote view, or be a monitoring spirit, in this set, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, which will give you full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. Please protect me, this channel, the video, and the viewers as I deliver this divinely guided message. Any curses, hexes, evil eye, black magic, witchcraft bindings, let them be dissolved, transmuted, and interviewed by the All-High. The sender's mask ripped off, they'll be unable to hide. All their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will become exposed and publicly known. Hello, Collective. I hope you guys are doing well. So the download that I have for you today is essentially, there is a karmic parent here that feels very powerless. So this is only going to resonate with you who resonate with the karmic parent, you know, people that you have already cut out of your lives, okay? Not everybody has piece of shit parents. Not everybody's going to resonate with this, okay? So just take it where it resonates and leave the rest. But specifically what I'm picking up on is a karmic parent or parents, both of them, as in they feel very powerless that one, you walked away and you've cut them out of your lives, that, you know, these people had a long-term plan when it came to your life. Like, these are the kind of parents that wanted to live your life for you. Not live vicariously through you, but like, they had a very detailed and specific long-term plan of how your life was supposed to go. Like, these people are the kinds of people that try to play God in your life with witchcraft. Like, ever since you were a child to adulthood, like trying to, you know, stop you from healing, stop you from, you know, being with the divine counterpart, stop you from ever having money, stop you from having independence, trying to stop you from ever having happiness, because there's always some kind of long-term goal. For many people that this story resonates with, it's always for financial gain or some kind of destiny swap or energy harvesting thing, trying to stop a prophecy from coming through. But it's going to happen anyway. Like, or this could be signifying that they don't want a generational curse to end, like because they benefited from it, and they're the ones who would keep that generational curse in the bloodline, you know, in hopes that power would be passed on to a few. So these are the kind of parents that do sinister things. These are the kind of parents that have absolutely no problem calling on entities, doing black magic, things like that. And this is stuff that you may have not been aware of. You know, your parents could have pretended to, you know, either be atheist, agnostic, or they could be very, very devout, okay? But they do some very sinister things. They try to play God in your life because they wanted something that was bestowed upon you, whether it be generational wealth, whether it be some kind of, you know, destiny, some kind of abilities here, okay? But you got out just in time, and they know that it's a completion of a cycle, meaning like they cannot come back in your lives, they cannot influence your life in any kind of way. It's done, it's over with. However, again, these people worked for a very long time to get some kind of end here. They had some kind of elaborate plan, and like they can't stop, won't stop. Like, you know, like they think of it, like if they've been doing this since you were a child and you're at least 20, 30 years old, like think of how long that is. I mean, that's at least 15 years that they've been planning stuff with your life to do something, investing their time, their money, their energy, lying, you know, keeping masks on. These are the kind of parents that try to portray themselves as very kind and loving, especially, maybe not with you, but say, because since this download is concerning children, they've always tried to appear that way with your children. It may be it may have never been like this with you. Like, they could have been very, very abusive with you, very controlling, very authoritarian, but then with your children, it was different. Like, they tried to essentially rewrite history in that way. Because, you know, if they had a reputation for being abusive with you and being a piece of shit parent, it's like they try to flip the script by trying to be the perfect parent or grandparent. But this is like a grandparent that tries so hard to overshadow you, or tries to essentially become your children's parent. Like, they try to get you out of the way. And that's because it's all for reputation. It's all for, you know, the public eye. So that way, it's like they're trying to erase the abuse. They're trying to erase their sins, their crimes through you. And it's like, I feel like you can most definitely been a sacrifice here for your family. And that was the long-term plan. And like, they kept trying to erase you when you had children, because they were hoping to parent your children, repeat the cycle, but you essentially, whatever they got off of you being the sacrifice would have lasted their lifetime. So they could have, you know, raised the children in a happy way, or, you know, been the quote unquote good mother, good father, or whatever. But it's like they try to overshadow you. They try to be you. It's like trying to steal your identity, cloaking themselves in your energy here, trying to be you. Like, so say if you're very kind, nurturing, empathic, like you have a very mothering gene, but say your own karmic mother doesn't have any of that, she would try to be that to your children, to the point where like they would prefer her over you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these people feel very powerless because they get to see that you get to move on to this new cycle, which is like happiness, fulfillment. You could be with the divine counterpart. They see that your children are happy, things like that. These people don't want to let it go. So because they feel powerless, they're investing in doing witchcraft on your children now. I guess they think that, you know, if you're protected, you're too protected, that, you know, your children wouldn't have the knowledge, spiritual wisdom, or practices that you do. So they feel like, okay, well, if I can't affect you, then I'm going to do everything that I would do to you, to your children. And what I've specifically been picking up on is them invading your children's dream state, having an entity pursue them in the dream state. You may have picked up on this as well, so follow your intuitive promptings. Okay, if this is sounding like something that you've been dealing with, like how you would know is if you saw them in your dreams. If you were having dreams with you and your children and being pursued by something, something's looking for you, something's stalking you, and you're trying to hide or something like that. And then you see your karmic parents' like faces in your dreams, okay? You would know intuitively if this is resonating with you, that, you know, like your family, specifically karmic parents, are trying to infiltrate your dream state. But because you're too protected, now they're trying to do all the same tactics they would have done to you, to your children. But your children are just as protected as you, okay? They come from you. They're of your energy. They have just as much as protection as you do. And you're being alerted that you needed to be on high alert for this. This could either provide you with clarity of something that happened in the past, or it's going to be, you know, because my readings are timeless, this could be a present situation, or it could be something that can happen in the future. So again, take it where it applies. But they're trying to affect your children. And reason being is, like, I'm specifically channeling like single moms that got married to their divine counterpart or got with their divine counterpart. You're cohabitating, you're co-parenting, okay? They want your partner to be overburdened. They want your partner to, like, essentially be some kind of strength of will here when it comes to your children. They are trying to infuse this entity in them to where it casts some kind of illusion to make them at loss, grief, and sorrow, like make them have depression all of a sudden, make them have short-term memory, make them where they are acting very aggressively towards you, or they're acting unruly all of a sudden, you know, essentially putting their minds to mush. They're trying to make them aggressive, trying to make them violent, trying to make them to where they won't listen, trying to make them very, very sad, trying to get them to act out, trying to get them to go tell other people that they're sad and that, like, you're the reason to blame, okay? If you are a parent here in this situation, something that you need to do, it needs to be a practice. You need to tell your children that they need to be able to confide in you about their dreams. As a parent myself, who has gone through spiritual warfare, my kids know just as much about spiritual warfare as I do. Meaning, like, my children know it's a real thing. My children knows what we do to protect ourselves. My children, you know, pray with me and everything like that. We have a, you know, like a practice, a routine that we do, you know, every so often to cleanse ourselves and things like that. And to have your children be on high alert that someone could invade their dreams. Because say, in my own family, they dream invade and they like to do mental magic and mirror magic. They like to send incubus, succubus entities to you. They like to bind some kind of spirit to you. They like to do mirror magic, like projections, send entities to your home that way. They like to divination spy. They like to do the mental magic, mess with your mind, make you mentally ill, you know. But then they also like to invade dreams. So for me, for my own children, I don't put like fear in them. You know, I tell them, if this is our reality, this is what we need to do. Okay, like I was very open and transparent when we had to make a lot of changes in our lives when it came to my own family, the satanic cult and stuff that we found out that they were part of, all the shit that they were doing. Like I was very transparent. Like I told my children at the time in the way of a fairy tale, hence I'm an author of fairy tales, because I've had to translate some of the shit that's gone on in my life to my children in a way that wouldn't traumatize them. So like I've had to tell them in the form of a fairy tale, like what kind of grandparents and family that they come from, that they have, you know, why we don't go around people, why we do certain things, you know, like what we need to be on the lookout for, okay? So when it comes to that, it's like the dream state, we have practices that we do, and I tell my children to make sure they confide in me if they have some kind of dream, because in doing so, you know, I would find out through my own experience that my children would tell me that they would have dreams where like they would see me kicking them or something, or having me hurt them or things like that, but I would never do that. And so like when they tell me about it, they're like, you know, I had this dream like where you were hurting me and it made me cry. I woke up crying, like it upset me. And it's like, you know that I would never do that, right? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, this is what, and then I would use it as a teaching moment. Like this is called an illusion. This is somebody invading your dreams, trying to make you fear me, trying to make you feel some type of way about me. That's not true. You know I would never hurt you. If anything, I've done nothing but protect you. I've saved you from any and every kind of person who's ever tried to hurt you in your life. Like I've risked my own life for you so many different times. Like you know that I would never hurt you, and you know we would talk about it. And then she goes, okay. So then you know say if it happened again, you know she would know what to do, right? Like and she would be less scared or less afraid. So like we would just keep that line of communication open. There's no shame in it, okay? Like if you are going through spiritual warfare, chances are not every single person that's in that household, including your pet, is probably going to be under it as well, because if they can't get to you, they're going to try to get to anybody close to you. That's why you keep your circle small, and that's why everybody protects themselves. They say that a home that prays together stays together, okay? So it has to be like a whole teamwork effort. It has to be like a whole collaboration within your home to keep prayed up, to keep your space cleansed, things like that. So it's very, very important here, because these family members are trying to make your children scared. They're trying to attach some kind of entity to them. Your children could be very high vibing, again, because you have that kind of practice. So it's very, very difficult for them to attach that entity. But what Spirit really wants you to know is that you need to go into the woods to cleanse your energy. Like all of you, like have like a whole family get together, go walk in the woods, go hiking, go whatever. Okay. It's very beneficial for you. It's grounding. Okay. But there's something significant about going to the woods, going to the forest, and having that entity removed, because just know that you are loved and protected. And this is a phase, a cycle in your life that is coming to an end. And to get rid of it, you just need to, one, cleanse your house, smudge, do your ritual baths, ritual showers for every single person in the house, and keep it consistent, keep it routine. I do sell them if you don't understand how to do a ritual bath. I do sell them. I sell the kits. It gives you the instructions. Some of it can be reused. I will attach that in the comment section for you in the description box, but it's called a ritual bath kit. I sell them at $12. It gives you what you need to do, and then you just keep doing that however many times that you feel like you need to. Sometimes in the beginning you feel like you got to do it every day, but then later as you go, it could be 2-3 times a week. It has to be done at least once a week though. Has to. If this is something that you've been going through. With Dreamstate, you need to wear amethyst. You could benefit from some tourmaline, some obsidian, some shungite, okay? You can benefit from dream catchers, but you gotta be wary of where you purchase those, as well as it has to be designed in a specific kind of way, meaning it has to have a hole in the middle and then have the little strips hang down, so that way the entity gets trapped and is forced to, that's trying to go down, it gets trapped. It gets trapped in strands, especially the dream catchers that have obsidian and tiger's eye and things like that on it to trap the entity. Witch's orbs is also something very beneficial. A witch's orb is essentially the ultimate trap. It's a glass sphere that you hang over a window. And essentially any kind of negative energy, entity, anything, spirit that is in your home is going to be drawn to that like a moth to a flame, and then it gets trapped inside of it. It's the ultimate prison. Just be wary if it breaks, you're going to have to cleanse your home. Again, praying at night, praying during the day, being very, very specific in your prayers when it comes to your dream state. Prime example. And I would encourage you to teach your children this as well. Mine know. So that's, we house that prays together, stays together, okay? Because it's we know they're going to do it. They've done it before. I've had, just to give you an example, I've had a 3-year-old tell me some crazy shit. And it's where did you get this from? You don't have the cognitive dissonance to be able to formulate that kind of thought that you're saying to me. It's because of dream state intrusions. The things that my kids would tell me later about what would happen at night or something in their rooms or something, it makes so much sense to me now, about what was truly going on. But it's these are people that are constantly trying to win at all costs. If they can't get to you, they're going to try to get to your kids. But, say if you're somebody who has spiritual gifts, it's going to pass on to your children. So the sooner, the better when it comes to teaching them defense, teaching them how to protect themselves, teaching them, to cover their head when they go to sleep at night, teaching them to pray, teaching them to, again, give the divine permission when they're sleeping. So here's a prime example. You invoke God, whoever else is on your spiritual team, your ancestors, things like that. You go, in my dream state, I give you full consent to intervene and to intercede, to protect and defend my inner child, my personal will, my self-love, my self-worth, my core memories, my downloads, the functionality and alignment of my chakras, and my overall well-being, whichever way you deem fit. I give you full consent in my dream state to place me in a dimension or realm that can only be accessed by high vibrational energy and frequency that cannot be fooled or lower vibrational or cloaked energy. I give you full consent in my dream state to stop anyone from touching me, giving me anything, including food or drink, being intimate with me, looking me directly in the eye, or speaking telepathically to me. Things like that. So just be very, very specific, okay? And then you also train your mind as well. Before you go to sleep, you start it with, dear me. You think it, dear me. In the dream state, I give you full consent to place me in a dimension or realm that can only be accessed by high vibrational energy and frequency that cannot be fooled or tricked by cloaked, lower vibrational energy. Dear me, I give you full consent to intervene and to intercede, the whole thing. You gotta say, dear me, because it activates your higher self. Giving yourself prompts, like don't take any gifts, do not take any food, do not take any, do not eat anything, do not drink anything, do not have sex with anyone, do not let anyone touch you, do not let anyone look you directly in the eye, okay, things like that. Do not open any portals, do not open any doors, windows, gates, entryways, do not invite anyone in, okay? That's the kind of stuff that you can tell yourself when it comes to dream state magic. I've become quite a pro at it just because of the extensive warfare that I've had on my own. But you'll start noticing, like your kids can, like their whole attitude will change, their whole demeanor will change. It'll really affect them in school. So just to let you know. But it was some kind of illusion of violence to put you in fear for your family that would have had consequences to your abundance and brought catastrophe if you succumb to it. So like, this was some kind of ritual that they did it to affect your kids, but then also to affect you. Like, they wanted you to know that your kids were being stalked in the dream state so you would fear. Like, some kind of violence here. But then I also, picked up on that it's like each of you had some particular illusion meant to inspire fear. However, yours was to get you in your head. Again, they witches and warlocks have to put you in a state of fear in order for you to be at the vibration level for anything to take hold. So Spirit wants you to know that you are protected. Here's what you do. You cleanse it, you get rid of it, you move on, right? I also picked up that with these same people, they're now going through a bout of poverty and sickness. Plus, they are being very haunted. They know this, which is why they're so desperate to do something to you. They need you to be codependent on them. They need you to come back. And without your energy to shield them, to cloak them, they're about to pay for everything. If you have not invoked spiritual court, wrote out your grievances, especially if you know who has been doing witchcraft on you. I think I'm going to do a video on that, like how to actually invoke spiritual court and how to declare judgment. Yes, there's a prayer that's like a paragraph, but that's like a nightly thing. That's not like actually petitioning spiritual court and casting down divine judgment. Like, think of like an actual court. You need, you need the date, you need who you are, you need who your witnesses are, who's your counsel, so like your spirit guides, your ancestors, the beings that provide you with guidance, who the accused are. Say if you don't know everyone, so you can put your parents, then you can put known and unknown coven members, family members, and all subordinate affiliates. Like, anybody, everybody, these people know that's involved in this, both known and unknown. And then list your grievances, like dream state magic, trying to do this, trying to, destiny swap, trying to energy siphon, trying to allow entities to spiritually grape me and my children, things like that. Like, I feel like I'm going to do a video on that because it's a very specific process, but it's very beneficial. But here's the thing, once it's declared, and why I haven't in the past is because I know people of the dark will try to do it as well. But here's the thing. Essentially, your soul's going to get weight. So the moment you declare spiritual court and you petition the court, they can see everything that you do. They know your intentions. So say if you've done a little tit for tat when it comes to black magic, like you've done bad things towards them, for vengeance or things like that, like it's not going to go in your favor, you're going to pay as well. So it's going to essentially judge the goodness of your soul, of your heart, against theirs. And you got Archangel Metatron that's got all the receipts. He records everything. So it's like you're going to be judged. You're going to have to confess your sins. You're going to have to repent. And you're going to, again, have to be judged. So like you can't do black magic with these people. You can't be, wanting revenge. You can't. Wanting justice and wanting revenge are two different things. They're not the same thing. Vengeance is God's right, and he will show them no mercy. But when it comes to spiritual court, it's essentially you're proclaiming that any low vibrational entity has no right to operate in your life, and here's why. So say if your family was doing things to you to make you promiscuous, make you drink, make you have addictions, messing with your mind, binding your free will, that's something you would tell spiritual court. Yes, I repent my sins, however, I had my soul sold without my consent. Like, I had somebody bind my will, mess with my mind. You know, we are human beings. We have free will. I had mine taken at 4. You know, like, I'm not responsible for what I did if somebody put an entity in me and bound my will at 4, right? Like, you can most definitely get people tried for those crimes. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know about this family, these parents, these karmic parents? What do you want them to know about them trying to attack the collective's children? What do you want them to know about them trying to attack the collective's children, like stalking them in the dream state? We have divine intervention, evil eye, inner warrior, smear campaign, burdens, 5th house, entertainment, creativity, removing low vibrational people. Your path is clear to move forward. Red flag, lies and deceit, leap of faith, manipulation, financial stability. So we have, you have removed low vibrational people from your life. Again, it's these karmic parents who's trying to send you evil eye. So you taken some kind of leap of faith that would have led to financial stability. And trying to provide you with burdens. You received some kind of red flag that invoked your inner warrior. And the divine has intervened to clear your path. So these are low vibrational people that you have already removed from your life that were evil eyeing a leap of faith, like a leap of faith towards marriage, you know, a move, a sole purpose. That would have provided you with financial stability, trying to put you with burdens. You received some kind of red flag here. Again, like you knew something was going on that invoked your inner warrior. So you could also be protecting your kids in the dream state. The divine has intervened. Your path is clear to move forward as well from this manipulation and smear campaign full of lies and deceit about your creativity. So like say if like your sole purpose has to do with you being some kind of creator, things like that, what you do for entertainment. These people out here trying to, you know, assassinate your character. So your path is clear to move forward. But again, go to the woods. If you haven't done a ritual bath, if you haven't done a cord cutting, not just for you, but for your children when it comes to these karmic parents, you need to. Because if they're willing to bind you, what makes you think they're not willing to bind your children? So you have to do a cord cutting on your children's behalf from them, from your karmic parents. You have to do it for yourself as well. You all need to take a ritual bath, a ritual shower. You need to cleanse your space. You'll be good to go. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know about this dream intrusion of the children? What do you want the collective to know about this dream intrusion of the children? Yeah, they decided to take a different approach this time. They were trying to try something new. Yeah, but you got the message, the omen here when they did this. It was all to get after your life force energy. Okay, so this is energy harvesters, energy siphoners. They thought that they were going to get some kind of celebration by having something stalk your children, okay? Be very predatory on them. Trying to go after your children's sense of empowerment, so attacking their solar plexus and sacral chakra. Make them have to endure from some kind of fire that they started in order for them to get some kind of happiness or to affect your happiness. Yeah. It was all to affect your purity, your vibration, your relationship. Yeah, trying to bind you. Trying to bind your children. You have some cards for Eel Spirit. Yeah, they were in this King of Swords energy, okay? Trying to take a new approach, trying to go down a different path here very quickly. Being detached, making a head over heart decision. Being logical, being some kind of authority figure. Unemotional. Again, like these people, they have no hearts and they have no souls. These are soulless beings that are run through by entities, okay? They don't give a fuck if it's your children, you, whatever. The end justifies the means to them. You know, like if they want money and they got to sacrifice you or who the fuck ever, their own kid, their grandkid, somebody else's kid, they don't care. They'll do it. Okay? They were going to cast this illusion over an emperor and empress. Okay? Because they know that you guys have isolated. So again, this is like you and your spouse and your children have decided, and I see a cardinal here, it's your ancestors, it's like you were guided to isolate because maybe your enemies, I mean, if you have enemies as family members, fuck, like, they have no problem infiltrating your friend group and who you work with and things like that. So it's like you have to cut everybody off, you have to just focus on the home, right? You don't know who's an op because like they'll go to anybody. They don't care. They'll tell whatever kind of story, which is a smear campaign. They'll manipulate anybody and everybody, try to portray you in some kind of like, give them some kind of sob-ass story. These are perpetual victims. Like, they never do any wrong, and they're always the victim here, okay? You and your spouse, your significant other, I mean, there's a divine masculine and a divine feminine here. They know that you guys have isolated, and you're focusing on the family, on your unit, and they're like, okay, how can I apply pressure to that married couple or to that household? Okay, I can't affect the divine feminine, the nurture, the abundance of the household. So now I'm going to go after the children to make it to where there's so much pressure, chaos, upset in the house that you're like, again, it's like not just we're going to attack the children thing. This is like, okay, I'm going to attack each and every one of these people, divide and conquer. I'm going to, you know, make each of the children scared, make each of them unruly, make it to where they're not listening, make it to where, you know, like they're overly emotional, throwing tantrums, things like that. And then I'm going to, you know, do things in the dream state to the masculine. I'm going to do things in the dream state to the feminine. So that way they're both on edge. They're both going to, you know, be on high alert. They're both going to be easily triggered and provoked. And then I'm just going to watch the chaos unfurl. You know, like that's what it's giving here. Trying to figure out, yeah, how they could do this. Clarify, Hawk. How can they apply the most pressure to the house? Yeah, you receive some kind of message, some kind of omen here. Or no, they receive some kind of omen here that there's about to be an ending to their stability. Again, I mentioned that they're about to be in fucking complete poverty. There's an ending here to their own stability, their own security, their own financial foundations. This wife, this mother, that took some kind of fishy offer to collaborate or to get some kind of inheritance or long-term stability. Again, off of your life force energy. And they do this again in the dream state. Clarify the Son of Life. They know that you have healed and that you are very abundant and self-sufficient. Again, you have full control over your energy, your sacral chakra energy. You have full control over it. And they know that you've been very, very resilient. You've stood your ground. You're the wounded warrior in many, many different ways because of how strong your will is. Again, like these are people that have no problem trying to bind your will. Clarify, Joy. Their celebration has been delayed. There's a lot of tension here. They're trying to resist the change. Or they made some kind of forced decision to go after you with the dream state. Again, to go after your children in the dream state here. Because they're seeing the truth that they're not going to get anything. That they're going to have to move on. Like, these people, again, like, think of, they've invested like 15 plus years in this to do something to you. And it's like, to be told that you need to move on, they're like, well, I spent like literally a mortgage on going after this person. I've done, you know, a spell every single full moon, new moon, dark moon. I sold my soul for this, you know? Like, that's what these people are like, I sold my soul for this. I signed this contract with my blood, you know? Like, what do you mean I have to move on? What do you mean I can't? What do you mean the cycle's closed? What do you mean? What do you mean they still have their willpower? I've been binding it since they were 4, right? Like, they don't understand. They're seeing that, again, that like you resist change in the dream state here, and they're going to have to move on. Yeah, they receive that news here. They're going to have to move on because you're getting your wishes fulfilled. You're having wish fulfillment. Clarify links. They just don't want to accept it. But then again, they're just burying themselves in a deeper hole. Do what you feel like you need to do. Something very significant. Again, they were trying to be predatory. They were trying to have some kind of entity stalk your children in the dream state, but you were in this Queen of Swords energy. You knew the truth. You're very intelligent. You're very logical. You're very analytical. You had strong boundaries here. Essentially stopping your children from taking any kind of offer, okay? Like, again, like how entities, how warlocks, how witches are able to get consent to take your energy is by doing it through deceptive means, like offering you food, drink in the dream state, trying to have sex with you, touching you, looking you in the eye, kind of things. Like, that's how they get consent, giving you things, like just a present or something. See, it's serious, like giving you, again, like in this, it's like a cup, giving you a cup. That's you giving consent to them stealing your energy. That's how they do it. Most people don't have control of their dream state. So it's like, it's consent, but it's through deceptive means. Again, in your prayers before you go to bed, you need to be specific on how you allow the divine to intervene on your behalf when it comes to your dream state. Like any kind of entities, beings, or energies trying to, you know, get access to my energy, to siphon from me, to cast illusions over me, anything like that, through deceptive means. Like, I do not give any entity any permission to have access to my energy or through any kind of deceptive means, something like that. Yeah, you essentially were there. Again, like, it's like they cast illusion on you, but you also, again, you can be very gifted. You can pick up whenever your children are being invaded as well, like their dreams are being invaded. You get to have just your spidey senses just tingle, like you know things. And essentially, this entity here was trying to, again, stalk, be very predatory on your children in the dream state, and you protected them. You defended them from taking this offer, this consent to be in their energy, okay? Like trying to give them something, trying to, you know, like make them a deal or something like that, which would give that entity access to them, like to siphon their energy or things like that, yeah. Yeah, it was brought to your awareness because, again, you're a Hierophant. You had the spiritual knowledge here. You're very connected to divine. You're essentially able to cut this entity out of their energy. Like, you were able to end it. So you also protect your children in the ethers. You protect them in the dream state. So not only are you protecting you, but you're protecting them. You got this you got this entity to move on. Clarify empowerment. There's a King of Wands here. This is the leader. This is somebody who's got the passion, the fire. This is a person who is inspiring people to try to block you, to try to block your sense of empowerment. Again, sacral and solar plexus chakra, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your personal will, but then also your self-worth. Trying to block you from being able to move forward in life. So it looks like someone made an offer to your karmic family to do this. Clarify endurance. Clarify endurance. Okay. So now these people are going to have to endure from the fire that they started because they know that you have a new beginning with this King of Pentacles, okay? So your person here is a divine masculine. I'm picking up on a divine union, okay? So a divine counterpart here. This person is very stable, very secure, has an empire, okay? Very abundant, very generous. You're having a new beginning with essentially somebody that provides you with a lot of security because things are being balanced out. And something was spoken to these karmic parents here that are making them fear of what's going to happen to them. Like, again, their stability, their security, their money's being fucked with. They're going to be homeless. They're not going to have a fucking dime to their name. They know this. It was spoken to them that something was spoken to them about how there is going to be a lot of conflict, hostility to whatever it is that they've been working long and hard on, that put these people in anxiety, fear, and despair. It could also signify defeat, that they were defeated. Because your crown chakra is very, very illuminated. You get the messages, you get the downloads, you know the truth, you have clarity here because your intuition always lets you know. Again, with you, with your children, things like that, they're worried now. They know that they have to surrender and they're in anxiety, fear, and despair because, again, you catch them. I seen you, bitch. You know the truth. You see them. Because they know that they're going to be restricted now. Again, these are perpetual victims. Now they feel victimized because you weren't their victim. Now they know they're going to be bound and caught up to their manifestation. Like if they were trying to do shit to your money, shit's going to happen to their money. Clarify happiness. They're watching you have a lot of rapid change going on with your own happiness, okay? They see that you're very, very happy, that essentially your abundance, your spiritual wealth is just flowing in because you have full control of your sacral chakra energy. Again, it's healed. So like if it was at a misalignment malfunction, if you had some kind of entity bound to you, like a succubus, incubus energy, which is what would, attack your womb, your fertility, but also your life force. They were trying to bring conflict here to your wishes being fulfilled. However, they're watching and seeing how rapidly that, like, essentially, again, it says your path is clear to move forward. They're seeing the waters just flow for you, that you had a passionate breakthrough. So they decided to seize the moment here. And that's why it's like, again, heavy in their ego, trying to stop the inevitable. Like, oh, they're free to move forward. Oh, like, their spiritual wealth is coming in. We didn't block it. Okay, well, let's go do the dream state magic on the kids then. Clarify, Swan. Again, they know that you're very high vibrational, that you're very innocent. They were trying to go after your children here. Their Queen of Cups like energy, being very kind, very nurturing, very empathic, and their love, their joy, their happiness. To get success by attacking these children, attacking their happiness, trying to bring a painful ending to it. To try to, because this was their strategy to get rid of stagnation. So again, they attack the children. Children are pure. And something very significant about a cup. Again, like they offered them something in the dream state and you're like, someone's trying to offer your kids some kind of poison cup in the dream state and you just smack that shit out of their hand like, back away, bitch. Like that's you in the dream state. They try to appeal to your kids' sensibilities, their deep feelings. I saw a mother of a mother like trying to affect like their feelings on their mother, on their new beginning, on effectively their emotions, their feelings about your new beginning with your divine counterpart. In order to have success with bringing an ending to their happiness, their joy, their freedom, that was their strategy here to try to, end the stagnant period. That's why they acted so hastily. Clarify balance. They really don't want this message getting out. Yeah. So they tried to seize the moment to bind your children. They were very invested in this. That was their goal. They were mastering their craft here, trying to figure out a way to do this. So they didn't just do this once. They did this multiple times, which is why it's so crucial for you just to develop a routine, a practice with your children, everyone in your family, when it comes to their spiritual hygiene. Everybody needs to do it because you never know. Yeah, they were doing this consistently. They seized the opportunity very quickly to try to bind your children. However, again, you stopped it, so they know that karmic justice is here, and they're going to have to be adaptable because you're having victory and success. And again, there's a Queen of Wands, somebody who has good business sense, who's very confident, can be competitive, can be a little witchy, was very determined, doing this on the routine to go after your children, like trying to, invade their dream state, trying to affect their heart, trying to overburden them when it came to your new relationship. So again, like not wanting, like, so say if they have a stepfather, not like trying to invade their dream state to where like they all of a sudden have mixed feelings about their stepfather or something, like making where they hate them or fear them or something like that. Give us some cards for this Queen of Pentacles, this mother. Give us some cards for this Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who ain't shit. Obviously not. I mean, she don't care about nobody. Really gonna attack defenseless children. Yeah. Because she knows you're uninterested in being any part in her life anymore. So she doesn't care. Yeah, because she sees you're a queen rising. She sees that you step into the spotlight. You're coming up. People see you. People hear you. Yep, that's why she decided to try to get your kids' dreams. Give them nightmares. But now she's starting to see shit. Or it could signify that you being in the public eye, you getting the recognition that you deserve is like her biggest nightmare. Again, like especially if as a young child you were chosen to be the family sacrifice for that generation or whatever. So essentially she had to sell one of her kids down the river to get wealth for a lifetime. That was you. But you didn't get sold. Or you reclaimed your destiny, yeah. She's been fishing for comments about how you dodged a bullet. So trying to figure out how, like, you're able to escape all of her tactics, all of her witchcraft. Yeah, this, sorry to say, but you didn't get your intelligence from your mother. She's low IQ. It's probably because she's run by demons. She's lonely. I wonder why. You sacrificed everybody for money. Who the fuck's left? Yeah. She's looking you up to see if you got an STD or a sexually transmitted demon. Give us some cards for this King of Wands. This is somebody that you blocked on social media. Do you block these people? Yeah, that was in heavy competition with you. Wanting to fight you. But it's also into you. How weird. Yeah, waiting. Talking shit. Saying that you're an impersonator. Or talking shit with an impersonator. This person's stalking you because you moved on from them and they've been trying to rob you through some kind of dirty offer to be a sex fix with them. So we have a King of Wands here. This is somebody that you've dated before or have not dated before. Working with a mother figure. This is somebody that maybe wanted you to compete with other women, but they're into you. They've been talking shit. It's either saying that you're an impersonator or talking shit with the person who wants to be you. They stalk you because you moved on from them. They're a thief. And they want to give you some kind of dirty offer of being a sex buddy, like a sex buddy with them, a fuck buddy. Yeah, they're heads in the clouds though, because that shit would never happen. Same shit, different day. This person just hates on your happiness. Wants to steal your creativity. Again, this is an energy siphoner. So it's giving like some kind of secret society. Some kind of secret society here. I mean, they were given some kind of offer. So there's somebody in your mommy and daddy's secret society that is gung-ho about you being the sacrifice. I mean, your parents are all about, you know, you being the sacrifice, but they really want you to be the sacrifice. But they can't have you be the sacrifice. They're like, okay, well then we'll just move down onto the kids. And finding out that your kids are protected as well, so. Yeah, you received the red flag here. They're trying to invade their, it says your inner warrior, you whooped ass. What was the smear campaign? The lies and the deceit about what the collective does when it comes to their creativity for entertainment. It says that you're in the public eye. You could be a creator, content creator, influencer, public speaker, something like that. What was the smear campaign here? You're not haunted by the drama. You're not haunted by starting drama with people, and that you dig up dirt on people, trying to dust it off. Trying to dust off the fact that you fake flex, like you act like you're rich, you show off, and you're creeping on people and running to force your way. So these people are saying that you're not bothered at all by being a drama starter. They could say that you speaking your truth about your childhood, things like that, is, you're just not bothered by it. You know, you're a whistleblower. That you try to find dirt on people and fake flex, and that you creep on people, and that you're running to force your way. What is this smear campaign? These people are confused at how they lost their chance because they're stuck with your light irritating their demons. So these people do have demons. Yeah, these happiness haters. They're wasting time being a happiness hater because your light irritates their demons. They're trying to say that, like, you You have no problem starting drama, but it's like, I don't see how you're starting drama. Tell us how the divine has intervened here. Spirit, tell us how the divine has intervened here. How has the divine intervened here? How has the divine intervened? That you are worthy. It's time to stop feeling unworthy, unloved, and undeserving. So it has to do with your self-worth. So your sacral chakra. Having your dreams come true because you stayed true to your heart's desire. And helping you get out of some kind of victim mentality when it came to your heart being hardened by what people were trying to do to you in the dream. When it came to you having a new business venture, project, or career. Spirit, clarify you are worthy. Yeah. So Spirit here was bringing to your awareness to stop focusing on the negative, that you are worthy of all the abundance, all the love, all the laughter, the happiness that people were trying to steal from you. And they were trying to get you to miss opportunities by making you feel like you were worthless. Yeah, that was their strategy. They wanted you to feel worthless. And that was the only way they were going to be able to siphon your energy. Clarify dream come true. You're going to have a dream come true of being invested and having that goal of having a very stable family. So you're going to have a very stable family. Yep. Because you seized the moment very quickly to walk away from these people that were trying to put you at some kind of crossroad, trying to affect you in your dream state. And you being this Hierophant, you being very connected to divine, you being some kind of spiritual leader, things like that, or you being married is what's bringing you your wish fulfillment. Clarify victim mentality. So your intuition here, again, a high priestess with the Hierophant. You're learning to understand that everything happens through you, not to you. So you're beginning to understand that it just goes with the territory of being a high priestess, being essentially chosen, being called, soul-led, by the divine. That was all essentially part of your awakening. It was all part of your soul purpose, to activate your gifts, to strengthen you, to give you that knowledge, that wisdom, that experience, okay? When it came to these illusions, it didn't happen to you, it happened for you. It made you a beast in the dream state. Yeah, because it provided you with this King of Swords kind of mentality in the dream state, okay? You're a high priestess, you see things, you have high intuitive abilities. Like, again, like you're learning as you're going how to defend, think of it as like having training wheels on. The divine, is always there with you. You're always loved, you're always protected, but they allow you to do it. Like riding a bike with training wheels, like they're allowing you to do it. They're there if you fall or whatever. You're always protected, but they want you to do it. They want you to learn. They want you to be able to ride without those training wheels. So it's like you had to develop this discernment. You had to become unemotional. You had to make balanced judgment, be very logical, use your power in a rational way. That these people that were trying to get, trying to make you some kind of offer in the dream state to get essentially access to your long-term stability, you're not their victim. But this was all essentially character building. This was skill set building. Clarify heart in your heart. Don't let it harden your heart that these people, again, your parents here, were trying to end your stability, end your personal will. In many ways, trying to affect your mind. So again, your family did a number on you. It says, heavy heart, don't allow the situation to make you bitter, cold, and aloof. You either learn the lesson and get the blessing, or you allow it to make you resentful. It allows you essentially to harden your heart, which means that you are not open to your blessings, your opportunities, your abundance, which is exactly what they want. They want your heart to be hardened. So essentially, you need to forgive. Now, forgiveness is a state of mind. It does not mean reconnection. It does not mean making amends. It does not mean hearing their bullshit-ass apology. They're not sorry. You're being told, don't let it harden your heart. These people were trying to bind your will, trying to put an ending to you ever having money, you ever feeling safe, you ever feeling secure in life. Trying to, make you their puppet. in many, many ways trying to invade your mind here. Had a long-term plan for this conflict to put you in anxiety, fear, and despair. Essentially make you so scared, so afraid that you would never tell them that you're moving on, so that way they could block you. They could hold on to you forever. Again, this is like a really crippling case of codependency. Clarify dreams. Yeah, they're really trying to affect the Queen of Cup energy of everybody in the household. Like the kind, the nurturing, the empathic, the heart chakra, again, the love, the unconditional love, again, of the children. When it came to the relationship that you have, trying to bring you catastrophic change to the King of Cups, you know, someone who's very emotionally stable, who's a parent, who's a father figure with their manifestations. Trying to bring you loss, grief, and sorrow to your marriage, to the harmony of your home, to trap you, to trap your choices, that way they could get your destiny. While you would be heartbroken and in hardship and poverty. That was the whole. And they wanted you to be essentially, however, it's like they wanted your strength to be essentially eliminated. So they kept putting pressure on it. Again, like they were definitely trying to go after the sanctity of the home. Trying to put you in loss, grief, and sorrow. Again, they have to put you in that energy to lower your vibration to where the witchcraft will work on you. You're too high vibing. They want your kids to fear, you know, your new partner, their new father figure. They want to bring disharmony to the home. They want you to feel trapped. Like, and they want your choices to be trapped. So again, like say if you're a single mom, they want you to like have no stability where you need help. Like you need someone to watch your kids while you work. You can't afford daycare, things like that. They want you to be in that situation. However, you had the strength to overcome this witchcraft here. And that's why you get to move forward, because you stood your ground and you healed and you defended yourself from this kind of offer that they kept trying to make you in the dream state. Clarify crossroads. That you are about to have an opportunity open up for you to collaborate with someone that's going to bring you independence and financial self-sufficiency. And you're going to be provided with the news when it comes to your intuition. There's going to be some kind of offer here. But you're going to need to be in this Queen of Swords energy. You're going to need to be very logical, you know, have very strong boundaries, state your truth, speak plainly, cut people off if you need to, because it's going to provide you with a new beginning, a new financial opportunity. They're going to be generous. However, you need to watch for the strategy you need to watch for a King of Wands strategy to try to betray you, backstab you. So that's something very significant. But you have a collaboration coming up that the divine is going to provide you with guidance on. One-on-one means you're on the right path. But you're going to need to be in the Queen of Swords when it comes to your wealth, your abundance, this like financial opportunity, and who you're generous to. Like the opportunity itself can be very generous, or it can signify that once you get this opportunity, someone else is going to try to come in and try to take it from you, or you know, offer to work with you. Like what I'm picking up now is like as soon as you fall into this opportunity, whatever collaboration this is that's meant for you, that's part of you being on the right path, you're going to have someone else that comes and asks you for money. Like this King of Wands, remember this is somebody that is either an ex or somebody who wants to be an ex. This is a wannabe lover here that wants to be with you, that wants to, you know, ask to be your fuck buddy, you know. You need to be mindful of this. You need to cut this person off. No response is the best response. Because they're just going to betray you. They're going to steal it from you. Yeah. That you and your divine counterpart need to keep doing what you're doing, and which means like just stand together and alone, like isolating. That's what you need to do right now. It doesn't mean being in fear or anything like that, but just focus on the home. Focus on the home. Your home is your sanctuary. It says that your dream's coming true when it comes to that. That's how the divine has intervened for you. And don't let this harden your heart. Don't give them what they want, collective. What is this? What is the collective's karmic parents' karma? What's about to come their way? Contracting an incurable STD. Damn. Okay. Unexpected ending or passing. Someone dies. Being isolated from friends and family. Life keeping them busy since they have too much time on their hands. Taken completely out of the game. Someone dies. They get some kind of incurable STD through some kind of third-party connection. Then we have contracting a curable STD. So these people got like STDs running through them. Expedited karma pronto. So that's just coming in quickly. And someone's going to steal their car. Carjacked. With car problems. Breakdown, anonymous damage. So we have, they're going to have a curable STD and an incurable STD through some kind of third-party connection. Someone dies. They're going to be completely taken out of the game. They're going to be isolated. Their karma's coming very quickly. And because they like to steal from people, they're going to get stolen from. They know this. So this again says that they're in fear. Great Goddess Morgan, how are these people feeling right now? How are the parents feeling right now? How are the karmic parents feeling right now, Great Goddess Morgan? How are they feeling right now? Who they collaborated with to make this plan now feels blocked in life. They know they're under divine judgment for all essentially working together to try to get their wishes fulfilled. They feel blocked and bind to the situation again. They feel victimized by this illusion, or they're in fear of whatever it is that they tried to master because, again, you were resilient. Or this would signify that illusion that they created here, they worked long and hard to master their craft. They're persistently doing it. They're now going to have a painful ending when it comes to their own healing. Because you're going to have victory and success of having a happy family and they're heartbroken. Because they're having catastrophic change happen to them. When it comes to them working long and hard to affect your children. To get some kind of passionate breakthrough with this conflict. There's rapid change that's going to be going on in your life. And this King of Wands, again, this King of Wands keeps showing up. This is the person who wants to be with you, that wants to make you a fuck buddy. They want some kind of financial opportunity here. And they're trying to affect your Emperor, your divine counterpart, with witchcraft. So this ex here, or somebody who wants to be a lover, keeps trying, like their whole purpose of doing witchcraft on your divine counterpart is to essentially get him out of the picture. So that way this person can get close to you. So it's like why there's been so many breakup spells, so many cord cuttings between you and your divine counterpart. Like, they've tried anything and everything to try to break you and this person up. But it just hasn't gone in their favor. Spirit, tell us about the divine masculine. How he's defending himself in this witchcraft. Tell us about how this divine masculine is defending himself in this witchcraft. He has the inner strength here to overcome the obstacles. And they've gotten karma for it because the number 8 is here. Yeah. They still have the strength to provide you with a romantic offer because I saw the heart chakra card here. They still want to love you anyway. And they're going to seize the moment with your kids to isolate in many ways with the Empress, the Emperor, so that way you can move on to calmer waters. So like, whatever these people are doing, it ain't working. You're divine masculine, so if you're a divine feminine here, they're going to, essentially, their spidey senses are going to pick up and they're going to know that they're being attacked. They're going to do whatever they need to do. Like, say, if you say, hey, let's cleanse the house. Hey, like, we need to isolate. Hey, we're being stalked. Like, hey, we need to take ritual baths. Your divine masculine is going to be all for it. He's not going to be weird about it. He's going to be all for it. He's still going to seize the moment to essentially protect you and your children. So that way you guys can move on to calmer waters. Your Emperor is very secure about you and how he feels about you. Again, there's some weirdo here that wants to, like, take his place. Give us more information about this divine masculine. Yeah. So these cards want to come out. That he has optimism, that you're his peace. That you just need to practice self-care, bring balance, center your energy. Maybe like he didn't practice self-care before you, but he's got high hopes for you. Whoever this like divine counterpart that you're with, he's very secure about the relationship. He's very secure about you. He's going to do what he needs to do to protect his family. Like even if those kids like aren't biologically his, he's going to protect you and those kids. Even if that means that you guys have to isolate. He's hopeful that if he can isolate, if you guys can isolate, that you guys can quiet your mind, get rid of that fear or whatever, and center your energy. Give us some more cards about this divine masculine. This divine masculine is your true love. He has a lot of compassion for you. And he knows that you guys have to regulate the energy. Like transmute, 333, connection, mind, body, and soul, alignment. Something significant about ritual baths as well. Yeah, that you're going to have to that you're going to have to calm the waters here when it comes to essentially to keep what you have and to expand. He knows that you have some kind of purpose of being a shaman and that he is your twin flame. And that is part of your sacred purpose, your ancestral legacy here. And he knows that you are in your sensual period again, like that you have feminine wisdom. He likes that feminine side of you. He doesn't want you to be in your masculine side, like where you have to take action, you have to fight, you have to be the warrior. He wants you to be that soft part of you. They say that when you're with the right person, your inner child really comes out and you like become playful, you sound like a little kid, right? He loves that about you. He loves your passion. He loves like when you're in that receptive feminine energy. He wants you, so essentially if you're divine feminine, he wants you to be able to be in your woman energy. He wants you to feel like you can nurture, you can love. Yeah. Because he knows that you have the personal power here to rise from the ashes from any of this like witchcraft, again, like people trying to summon power against you. He also views you as the having the ability to heal and have a sense of clairvoyance. Again, like you're very, very intuitive. We had the High Priestess and the Hierophant come out. He knows that these are just people who feel some type of way about your abilities, that feel some type of way about your future. Again, we had shaman, we have twin flame, and we have ancestral legacy. Like part of your ancestral legacy is to have a higher level soulmate or twin flame, to be in a divine union here. And like your entire family's whole long-term plan depend upon you not being in union, but you're in union. Like you already have, especially if you're married, there ain't shit these people can do about it. Like you're, like, think of a binding spell, but way more powerful than that. Like, you guys are already bound in the spirit. When you get married in the spiritual world and in the physical world, nobody can break that. It's an unbreakable bond. Trust me, believe, they've tried. They've tried every way. But there's this King of Wands here that wants to essentially assume your twin flame, your high level soulmate's place. He's not going to. Because essentially he wants the wealth that comes with being with you. But he's not a divine masculine, so he wouldn't get it. It takes two. He knows that your person knows that you have some kind of spiritual calling on your life, and he wants you to be able to do it. So your person's going to lead you to safety. Yeah, so be grateful for this, because this person's going to help you to heal your heart. Yeah. This person's going to provide you with the ancient wisdom and the miracle to help you heal your heart from all this. Again, like take you away from it, protect you and your children, practice self-care, focus on the peace. Like if you guys have some kind of issue, you're going to talk about it, you're going to get through it. So have sacred gratitude here, because again, this person's part of your healing journey. Because you having this deep connection with them, one-on-one, again, you're on the right path. Water, again, is very significant. You opening your heart to this new connection is really going to increase your psychic abilities here, because you're going to go through some kind of transformation that's going to reclaim your power, and you're going to have angelic assistance as well, as you have the courage here to face your family and to release all constraints to you getting your blessings. Again, your river of blessings. It's very significant with this. Having a river of blessings here. That's why they're in panic, because they see that you have this river of blessings here. So they're like, okay, well, I'll just attack the kids. do what you feel you need to do. Just make sure you make it sure it's a night to remember. That's all I encourage you, because I mean, it's got to be for you to be cursed for the rest of your life. It's got to be. Give us the tea, Great Goddess Morgan. Yep, your family, your parents tried to destiny swap with you. And people are side-eyeing them, again, because they know about it. Now they're in a black hole of despair, unable to feel joy, warmth, or happiness. It's probably because that demon's in there. An air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be significant. Who's a complete stranger that you don't know. You need to allow the divine in. The Fae, the she, are their enemy. Because they took some kind of investment opportunity. Again, like all these people were involved in trying to destiny swap with you. Again, energy harvesting, energy siphoning, doing things to you repetitively. You have the she, the Fae as protectors on your side. Yeah, because these people had some kind of desire and passion for you. Yeah, to invade your dream state. Or they're trying to awaken your desire and passion. Again, like put you in that lustful energy to make you stuck in denial. Okay, I saw cards here and I want to see. Yeah, I did. These people were ash projecting because they want something you have and they don't care how they get it. So yeah, your family just diabolical. If you didn't know they're in that woo-woo, they are. Yeah, but the authorities know about them because we have the seen and the unseen here that reveal the family secrets. Essentially by illuminating emails, group chats, and texts that were found. So again, you have the Fae, the she, the seen, and the unseen, essentially got the right people at the right time in the right place to see the family secrets. So that means like their electronics or something have been attacked or compromised. They know about the family secrets through some kind of emails and group chats about like them trying to destiny swap or something with you. All cord and soul ties have been severed. They are blocked from your energy. That's why they're trying to go after your children. You still whooping their ass. Yeah, they forged documents to gain something by using glamour energy manipulation magic. So this could be like if they signed something of yours, like this could be like a life insurance scam. This could be like an inheritance scam, things like that, where they try to wrap themselves in your energy and have people think that they're you. Just know that you deserve unconditional love and healthy relationships, so don't settle for less. Use art to give your soul a voice to express itself in a healthy way to heal low vibrational emotions and traumas. Practice self-care to heal yourself. More information needs to be revealed as there's more than one topic needing to be discussed, so a separate reading. They were trying to get people close to you to use them against you. I told you this. That's why like you and your divine masculine are going to know to isolate, to keep to yourself. Because they're trying to slow down the energy in your life. Because they have hidden motivations. The practitioner they hired is now doing magic on them. Because your example has them questioning their whole life and choices. Maybe they didn't believe in God before you. Yeah. Whatever reports that were submitted to the authorities, CPS courts, etc. were thrown out or denied. And your ancestors are communicating with you. About some kind of marriage proposal. Again, we have this player here, this King of Wands, that wants so badly to be your divine counterpart, but they're not. Yeah, this person's been spiritually spying on you. Remote viewing, monitoring spirit, crystal mirror magic. You weren't the only one targeted, there are more victims. So yeah, like you're not the only one. This isn't these people's first time. Yeah, they felt some kind of magnetic pull towards you to try to get you locked up by any means necessary, including framing you for a crime. The past needs to stay in the past. And maybe that's why they're trying to get you locked up, because they wanted the past to stay in the past. I mean, the authorities already know about the family secrets. They submitted something to the courts that was denied. They forged something. They're trying to keep their secrets hidden so that we can have some kind of community celebration after siphoning your energy. Now their karmic debt is here to be repaid, and they want to gaslight you about it, attempting to rewrite history or erase memories. What blessings should you be aware of to show gratitude for? What blessing should the collective be aware of to show gratitude for? A blessing for unity where once there was division. So again, with your household, unity if there's any kind of division, fertility here, renewal, and a blessing of the earth, again, to ground. So like if you were having family issues, Morgan's blessing of peace after battle, like you're going to be able to keep your family grounded. You're going to be able to unify. Again, a family that prays together stays together. What does bond want the collective to know? What does bond want the collective to know? That you are going through some kind of transformation, death and rebirth, okay? Which is where your creations are going to be realized in the right time. That you're in the bloom, it's time to celebrate your harvest. That when you hit rock bottom, it was when you were cracked open to allow the divine in. And that when you allow the divine in, you were able to question everything. Anything on the line must go. So essentially, again, like if you were going through some kind of catastrophic change, that was part of your ascension, it was part of your awakening. So that way you could question everything around you and then get rid of it all. Because like you could have had like a great purge. Again, like family, friends, so that you had to isolate and everything. You could have had like a great purge. And so essentially you could open up to the divine. Go through this transformation. Become a master of your craft. Okay. We have Selene, the moon goddess. During Mercury retrograde, Goddess is watching. Lord Ganesh, remover of obstacles, and Helios, sun god. So you have the sun god here, you have Goddess is watching, along with Lord Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Something significant about Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde was in March, but I know we have another one coming up. So the first one was March 15th to April 7th. So you've had your obstacles removed during that time period, or July 17th to August 11th. Let's see when the full moon is in July. Full moon July is July 10th. So we have moon goddess here. All obstacles will be removed. Because I mean in March, the full moon, let me see. It was March 14th. Okay, so they could have tried to do something on the full moon in March, so March 14th, but Mercury retrograde started a day later. And you had all of your obstacles removed with Lord Ganesh here because Goddess is watching, as well as Helios, the sun god. So just know you're good. It says all blockages are removed. You are free to move forward. We had divine intervention, and you're seeing it. All right, collective, I hope I was able to provide you with clarity what you're going to truly know. Thank you for watching. If you like my vibe in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. Please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the Dark High Priest of the Prophecy of the Queen of the Unseen, which is literally a fairy tale about all this. An evil mother that tries to sacrifice the divine feminine, but she gets reunited with her divine counterpart in the end. Bye, guys.